Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. I'm your host, Matt, joined here today with Nick. And today we're going to break down UFC Fight Island 2. I think it's actually called UFC on ESPN 13, but that doesn't sound nearly as cool. And if we're being honest, I didn't see nearly enough Fight Island stuff on the promotion. If you're going to have it on an island, there should be fucking Fight Island branded shit everywhere.
Yes.
But that being said, outside of that, if you listen to our podcast, I am in an unreal heater. Probably the highest winning percentage I've had ever. I went 11-2 for Fight Island, so I don't know. You could look at it two ways. Maybe you follow the hot hand, or maybe you get off the train before it inevitably plummets. But
We keep saying that, but again, we've talked about I've been telling people to get off the train for 3 weeks now, and I still have yet to have it. I mean,
you're like
the
6
train.
straight weeks of being in the
Yes.
which is fucking nuts. I'm like 3 weeks, with the last one obviously being my biggest. So
Yeah, monster one last week for sure
maybe,
for you.
Maybe we figured out gambling. Like I've every gambler has had that fucking thought where they're like, maybe I cracked the code. Maybe I just know
I should quit my job.
Yeah. Me and the cappers are seeing the same thing. And so right now
I found the almanac from Back to the Future.
hey, they say like half the battle is confidence. So I'm very confident in these picks because you know what? I'm winning right now. So Nick, you said you have 2 bets. I have 3, so I'll go first. My first bet's going in the Ryan Benoit versus Tim Elliott fight. I love me some Tim Elliott, but I'm going with the underdog here. Ryan Benoit plus 105.
Hang on, quick timeout. Is this Tim Elliott's third Corona fight?
It might.
This guy fucking fights every 10 days.
Exactly, dude. Like he really, and they're both been losses, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he hasn't looked great. I find myself, I've been betting on Tim Elliott quite a bit because I'm like, I love Tim Elliott. I love the hairstyle. I love everything.
Put Demetrius Johnson in that guillotine one time.
Exactly, and I've been betting on that Soul highlight for quite some time. And it's like every time.
I think a lot of people have, though.
I know, and so like him as the favorite here, I'm just like, dude, this is name association. This is like, I like betting on people. I like, I enjoy, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. And then what solidified it for me is one, Ryan Benoit, he goes by the babyface. So fellow babyface guy, got to look out for our kind. And 2, probably not the best thing, but his last 12 fights have been win-loss, 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 win-loss. Last one being it.
I'm a sucker for that.
It's not good seeing that 6 losses followed by 6 wins, that he's 10-6, but you can't say no to a good pattern.
He's a pattern fighter.
Pattern win. He is used to it. So
plus, I think he's got Gary Tonin in his corner.
Oh,
and I'm a Gary Tonin fan.
Big time Gary Tonin fan. So that all being said, him at plus 105, hammer it home. It's just going to be, you love to see what a good pattern hits. And we got to start keeping track of who are the fighters with the biggest streaks. This is the biggest one that I can remember.
Yes. 12? 12 is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a shitload. That might be the all-time record.
I had to click next page to make sure, because I literally, the entire first page of fucking Sherdog is win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. I'm like, fuck, I was already hell-bent on betting against Tim
I'm surprised you even had to click next page before you just put the bet in.
Yeah, you just saw enough.
If there's a full page, I've seen enough. The evidence, the proof's in the pudding.
Although I would be so pissed if I saw, like, I misremembered and it was like win-loss, win-loss, but he's due for a loss, and then he loses. I will never forget.
Or if it was a win, loss, win in there somewhere, and it's actually been 3 fights or something.
Yes, and then
that would be highly unideal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is one that you don't miss out on it, because you'll be more pissed if you did miss out on the pattern.
Yes. Okay, my first fight is coming all the way up in the Cody Stamann, Jimmy Rivera fight. Look, you said confidence is key. Ride the hot hand. All things that we're talking about in the gambling world. That's why I'm running Cody Stamann here, plus 120. I had a lot of hesitation about it, actually. But Cody Stamann's kind of like, he's kind of the man right now, dude. He's killing it. He looks better every fight. I always say this. He's a fucking dog. Jimmy Rivera, the one thing that makes me kind of nervous is he has fought tougher competition for sure. He's lost to that tougher competition. Hasn't actually had like a decent win. I think his biggest name win in the last 3 years is John Dodson, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So not great because John Dodson's a 125 pounder.
But he's fought some really good guys close.
Close. Yes, this is true. But here's the thing. It's been a while since he's fought, and the guys that he has fought close, I feel like the Peter Yan one is the most memorable one. This sounds so bad because I always reference this fight into why Peter Yan isn't that good, because I'm like, well, Jimmy Rivera beat him, like he might have won that fight, but I don't know, man. I think Cody Stamann, like, this is just gonna be a dog fight, and I just think that like Jimmy Rivera's a dog too. But when you've got one guy Jimmy Rivera's my combos are cross hook, 1-2, low kick type of thing. And you're coming off, you're a little rusty. Maybe those combos aren't as sharp as they used to be. And now you've got Cody Stamann, who is going to just stay in your fucking mug for 15 minutes. I kind of like Cody Stamann getting the plus 120 here.
Yeah, no, this is my next pick too. I have Cody Stamann plus 120. Like you said, he has fucking been a dog, and Jimmy Rivera has had some tough fights and some tough losses. At this point in his point in career, like, he's already gotten kind of close to the top. The last thing I feel like you want at this point is like what looks on paper to be a step down, but isn't a step down at all. Like, Cody Stamann's some legit competition, and he's going to be a tough fight. So it's like, after coming off, I feel like they do this to Cowboy a lot, where they'll, like, after a couple really tough fights, give him another really tough fight.
But it's a guy coming up.
Yeah.
A guy rising the ranks.
What is Jimmy Rivera going to gain from this? Not very much, but Cody Stamann has everything to gain from this, and he's very, very dangerous. He looked great even after his brother just died. Like, and he's fucking Diesel Town. So, like, I don't think –
yeah, how could you bet against a hot guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I am a little scared that, like, because Cody Stamann does rely on his wrestling a lot, and Jimmy Rivera is very good at wrestling and defensive wrestling specifically.
Yes.
But I think Cody Stamann is just going to be able to, like, pile it on, and I don't think Jimmy Rivera is going to be able to use any sort of wrestling. So unless Rivera is able to, like, clip him with one of these, like, really loaded hooks, I could kind of see him just losing another tough decision, kind of like he lost to Peter Yan. I think it's
Yan dropped him a couple times, and I don't know that that's going to happen. But kind of what you're saying is, I don't think Cody Stamann's going to be able to get a lot. He might get a takedown, maybe, but Jimmy Rivera is very sound defensive wrestling. I think it's just going to be a war of attrition, just fought in close boxing and then clinch boxing range. And I just think that Cody Stamann,
like, a lot of the fence, like, maybe Stamann, like, not getting takedowns but getting toward the fence and then just, like, firing off a few and then
hooks
in the exchange, like winning those.
Yes, like forehead to forehead type stuff where you're not clinched up necessarily, but you're forehead to forehead on the fence and then ripping body shot coming over the top. I think that there's going to be a lot of that. And I think Cody Stamann, more of attrition. Okay, and then lock of the week. I mean, we both have the same one, right? Calvin Kattar.
Danny.
You lay the number.
We've been in a lot.
Lay the fucking number.
Lay the number. What's it at right now?
300.
Lay. It's just these.
Put it down.
There's one guy in this
fight.
He's
at least 6 feet tall. Like, I think he's probably going to have an 18-foot reach advantage against Dan Ige.
Dan Ige looks like the size of. He reminds me of who's the guy that we shit on a lot with the son.
What this? Ray Borg.
He reminds me of, like, Ray Borg size. Like, he's just this little compact, powerful guy. Very good. Like, he's like like dark horse, sneaky pick of being good, but I don't think he's like.
He ain't Calvin Kattar good.
Yeah, Calvin Kattar's like very blatantly like this guy could legitimately be the best. I don't know if he is because it's so stacked at the top, but definitely in that, like, he's in the Dan Hooker range of whatever 145 is right now. Maybe even a
I think he's higher.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he put it on Jeremy Stevens, who is like not a bad fighter at all. I picked Jeremy Stevens
versus Dan Ige. I think Jeremy Stevens beat.
I know. I was about to say I don't want to get too far down the MMA math road here, but I think Jeremy Stevens handily beats Ige. And dude, he's just been in it. Like Dan Ige, did he win? Did he lose against Barboza? I don't know.
I think they're going on maybe point scoring. He won, but like, dude, Barboza when he was landing was fucking like
he was fucking him up. And Calvin Kattar's been in there with the Burgosas, the Zabits. I mean, he's been in there with some people. And so I just don't see it. I don't see Dan Ige getting Kattar down for any meaningful length of time. And I see Calvin Kattar putting he's got those great long uppercuts and great that straight punch right down the pipe. I mean, I just see him landing that however, whenever, whatever he wants. Pretty much on because even Ige, I mean, he was landing on Barboza a little bit, but it was classic how to land on Barboza, like pressure into him, like just really make sure he's not fighting off his front foot, and then start winging fucking bombs, and like that's and that's how he was landed on Barboza, and that shit ain't gonna fly with Calvin Kattar. Like he will be there with the jab to back you down, like back you off, straight punches down the pipe. I mean, I really think that this is gonna be a pretty significant mauling.
And I think the biggest threat, or like
I don't even know how this fight got made, if we're being honest.
It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But when you think about it, it's like, okay, they didn't make this fight the main event for Dan Ige to win. This is one of it's set up for Calvin Kattar to be like, okay, well, could we give him a title shot? Should we give him a big name now? Like, this is very much a test. This is more of just like an easy test for Calvin Kattar because I think they might have plans or it just doesn't match up. This is just to put the pieces together. And I was gonna say, like, the biggest threat against like that I would be looking for from Calvin Kattar is a guy that could put you out in the first, because I feel like Calvin Kattar is one of those fighters that in his brain as he's fighting, it's just like calculating. Okay, this is your fighting style. This is how I'm going to beat you. You know, and I don't think Dan Ige is the type that's gonna just overwhelm him in the first or second.
It's gonna take Dan Ige 5 minutes to figure out how to reach him.
Yeah, exactly. Like to even bridge the gap and to fight like a smart, systematic fighter that looks for these ways. Like if you look at the Calvin Kattar, Jeremy Stevens fight, it's like Stevens was throwing everything, but Kattar was keeping his cool, figuring out his openings, and then exploits the opening. I think Dan Ige is not necessarily a guy that fights with a ton of openings, but I think because of the range, Calvin Kattar is going to figure him out, and especially over 5 rounds. I just can't see. Like I probably should. I'm not including it right now because I didn't look at it, but I'm taking Calvin Kattar minus 300. But probably live, I'm taking Calvin Kattar inside the distance. Probably TKO. The TKO line is probably going to be. I would get on that early because I feel like more likely than not, I don't see Danny Ige making it through 5 rounds of boxing with Calvin Kattar. Not many people can. I think the best shot of you beating Calvin Kattar right now is a 3-round, like win the first 2, hope for the third. Kind of is that how Zabit beat him?
Yep.
Exactly. So like that loss to Zabit is kind of what's fucking him. That's why this fight was made, just because. All right, we got Volkanovski and Holloway doing their thing. Korean Zombie.
They had to kill some time.
Ortega, really the only guy that is like on that level is Zabit, and they already fought Calvin Kattar. So it's probably going to be like the loser or winner maybe of Korean Zombie is going to go to Kattar if he wins. But then Dan Ige wins. Well, that fucks everything up. Like then you got like put him. You gotta like give him one of those guys, and I don't think anyone really. Like, I like Dan Ige a lot. He's definitely scrappy, but I just don't think he's on the level. So
yeah,
quick betting show, but we'll have more. We still got 2 more events in the next week or so. So plenty to come on your way. Until then, you can find me on Twitter at BroLeva. You can find Nick at _AGuy. And you can find us both at Below the Belt MMA, where I do tweet out our bet picks. And if you would follow us this past week, you would have been rich. So make sure to subscribe, comment on our videos, and always feel free to DM us your picks. Until a couple days from now, peace out, guys.